Okay, here we are at Logan Airport, about to make a flight in very stormy condition. It's spitting snow and rain. It's Tuesday, March 14th. It's about 2:10 p.m. and it's you can see the snow coming down lightly. We're about to fly up to Laconia, New Hampshire. It'll be an IFR flight. This plane is a Beechcraft King Air 350. It's a multi-million-dollar plane. It's a turboprop. It can fly as high as 26,000 feet. It can go almost 300 miles per hour. And without further ado, let's get in the cockpit and get started. All right, here's the cockpit. Nothing's on now. I'm going to show you what you have to do to start the plane. First of all, we have to go down to the throttle controls, which are right here. Check the trim. Trim's right there on 0 is where it should be. Put the throttle on idle. Put the prop about halfway down. Conditioner, we want the conditioner on low idle. Right there. That's ready to go. And next we're going to turn on the battery. The battery is right. Where the heck is the battery? Right here. Turn on the battery and the generator right here. Battery and generators are on, and next we're going to turn on all the lights. Lights are on. Now we can see a little better. And we're going to turn on the arm the engine auto ignition, armed, left and right. And next we'll start the engines. We'll start starter engine, the right engine first. I'm holding the starter on. There it goes. Don't forget it's a turboprop. You have to wait for the jet engine to come to start to spool at a high rate of RPM.
Boston Center, Diamond, November 22206.
Okay, it's going.
Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Next we'll do the left engine.
Diamond, November 22206, Boston Center. Cleared through the Charlie airspace. Airbus 85 Alpha contact, Boston approach on 120.6.
Okay. Both engines are running. And now we got to make sure the ignition switches are off. Both ignition switches are off. Turn on the pitted tube light, pitted tube defroster here. Both left and right, because it's snowing out. Next we'll turn on the avionics.
Diamond 206 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at 0 Cessna 152. Report them in sight.
Next we'll go up and turn the voltmeter from external power
Report them in sight.
to left to central power. There we go. That's it. So we're ready to go now. Contact air traffic control.
Diamond 206 have the Beechcraft King Air in sight.
System test. Okay.
Have to request IFR clearance. This is IFR, instrument flight rules.
Delta IFR to Kilo Lima, Charlie India, ready to copy.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta is cleared to Kilo Lima, Charlie India Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 4 right climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency is 133.0 squawk tree 744.
Okay, we'll acknowledge.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta cleared to Kilo Lima, Charlie India Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 4 right climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 133.0 squawk tree 744.
Beechcraft 05 Delta readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.75 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Okay, we read in our IFR information. We're cleared. Now I have to contact ground to taxi.
Austin
control.
ground Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta with Echo ready to taxi IFR.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta taxi to and hold short of runway for right via taxiway might cross runway tree 2. Contact tower on 124.725 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 4 right via taxiway might cross runway tree 2 Beechcraft 05 Delta.
All right, to go to runway 4 right. I'm going to request a pushback. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to have the engines going when we do this, but I always do. Seems pretty dangerous to me. We can see the rain on the window. All right, I think that's far enough. I'll request him to stop. Put the parking brake on. As soon as he gets a little bit away from the plane, we'll run it. We'll take taxi over to runway 4 right. Yeah, that looks good enough. We'll turn on the windshield wipers. Okay, this taxiway will take us down to runway 4 right. Go to the end. There's a top-down view, shows you where we're at the airport. Oh, getting a little off course here. Here we go all the way to the end and take a left. That'll take us over to runway 4 right. There we are, runway 4 right. Okay, stop here. Put the parking brakes on. Turn off the warning light. The warning light's telling us the parking brakes are on. Contact air traffic control. Get the tower. Contact the tower. Request takeoff clearance.
Austin Tower Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta ready for IFR departure runway 4 right.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta altimeter 29.29 wind 044 at 24.
traffic is Airbus A20N on final. Cleared for takeoff runway 4 right.
I don't understand. They said there's an Airbus on final and then they cleared us for takeoff. We'll just wait here a second. I have some housekeeping to do anyway. Number one, I gotta set the...
Beechcraft 05 Delta, please acknowledge.
Nope. They want me to acknowledge.
Cleared for takeoff runway 4 right Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05.
Well, they cleared us, so we'll go out onto the runway and do our housekeeping. We'll see what happens. Okay, there we go. Put the parking brake on. Turn off the warning light. Okay, as I said, we have a few housekeeping chores. Number one, we have to set the barometric pressure. That's what tells the plane what our altitude is. And right now it's showing us at about 615 feet above sea level. Actually, we're only about 20 feet above sea level. Once I set the barometric pressure, it'll be correct. There we are, about 15 feet above sea level. Next, I want to turn on, let's see, what do I want to do? We set our altitude to 5,000 feet. They told us to climb. Set the 5,000 feet, turn on our flight level change.
Going around Airbus 85 Alpha.
To 140 knots.
Airbus 85 Alpha contact Boston approach on 120.6. Good day.
140 knots, that means the plane will climb at 140 knots until it reaches the altitude of 5,000 feet, and then it will level off and speed up. Also going to set the heading bug, which is right here, the little blue mark that I just made. I'll show it to you here. The heading bug is right here. I'll make it go to the right. See that right there, moving? There it is. I set it to the heading of the altitude, the heading of the runway. So when I turn on autopilot, it'll follow that heading and climb to 140 feet. One more thing I have to do is turn on the yaw dampers. There we go. We're all set to take off. All right, here we go. Release the parking brake. Give it a little bit of throttle. Put the prop and conditioner to full. Full throttle. And we're away. Okay, landing gear is going up. And flaps are up. Now I'm going to press autopilot. And turn on auto. Pull the nose up. Autopilot is on. Right here, you can see the AP. That means autopilot got turned on. Now the plane's flying on autopilot. Air traffic control just contacted us. Wanted us to switch frequencies.
133.0 Beechcraft 05 Delta.
Busier than a one-arm paper hanger. Contact Boston departure.
Boston departure Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta is passing 2,200 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
Beechcraft Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta Boston departure altimeter 29er decimal 29er. Continue to Bossus as planned.
Okay. While we're talking in air traffic control, I switched. Oh, I gotta switch this to GPS. There we go. Got a little off course here. It's alright, it'll correct. I just switched to the autopilot
Delta climb and maintain 7,000 feet.
to follow the GPS. Okay. Air traffic control, I think, just told us to climb to 7,000 feet. They did. Switch the altimeter here to 7,000 feet. Turn on flight level control again, and she'll climb. Climb to 7,000 feet. It's kind of dark up here. All right. Seem to be doing all right now. It's approaching 7,000 feet. Plane will level off and speed up. All right, we're showing indicated airspeed of about 214 knots and climbing. And if you look up here where it says GS, that stands for ground speed. Indicated airspeed is always less than ground speed because the higher we climb, the faster we'll go. But the pitot tube, which registers speed, is set for ground level. And as we climb, there's less air, so it shows a lesser speed than we're actually doing. We're actually going 242 knots, and we're only showing 224 knots. We are at 7,000 feet, leveled off. And if we look at our multi-function display, it'll show us a map of where we are. Note the plane is cockeyed on this course. That's because the wind is trying to push us to the left, so the plane, autopilot automatically is steering the plane a little to the right to compensate for that, to keep it on that course. Our next destination is the Concord VOR, and from the Concord VOR we're going to proceed to intercept the ILS approach into Laconia Municipal Airport. So while that's going on, I'm going to set the radios. Turn on the wind vector.
Contact Boston Center on 133.25. Good day.
Okay, air traffic control just contacted us.
133.25 for Beechcraft 05 Delta.
To in Boston Center, they told us to contact Boston Center or contact
Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta 7,000 feet.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta Boston Center altimeter 29er decimal tree 2 continue as planned.
Okay, gave us a new altimeter setting. Let me check that. Yeah, it was off. Our altimeter was off a little bit. I corrected that. And now Nav 1 frequency, we want to set that to the ILS frequency, which is at Laconia, which is 108.5. 108.5, and transfer that. So that's all set.
Airbus X-ray uniform, Quebec. Boston Center, Beechcraft, November 9er, 79er tree, 89,400 feet. Beechcraft, November 9er, 79er tree, 8 Boston Center altimeter, 29er decimal tree, 2 continue as planned. JMB Aviation, 61 Papa contact, Boston Center on 128 decimal tree, 25.
Okay, we're 8 minutes. Our estimated time to Concord VOR is 8 minutes. Once we get to Concord VOR, we have to travel 17 miles to an intersection which is called Nilwu intersection, and it's approximately 17 miles to that intersection. And then once we get to that intersection, we turn toward Laconia, and it's about 15 miles to landing. I think I'll turn off these windshield wipers, they're bothering. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're looking pretty good.
Beechcraft 05 Delta contact, Boston Center on 128 decimal tree, 25.
Air traffic control just told us to switch frequencies again. Wish they'd make their mind up.
Beechcraft 05 Delta. Boston Center, Beechcraft Bravo Oscar, Sierra 05 Delta, 7,000 feet.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta Boston Center altimeter 29er decimal 35. Continue as planned. Beechcraft 05 Delta traffic is 11 o'clock 3 miles at 7,000 feet JMB Aviation VL3. Report them in sight.
According to them, there's traffic at 3 o'clock at this altitude. They want us to report it in sight. Let's see, 3 o'clock is over there, right? Yep. I doubt we're going to see anything in this suit. We'll take a look. They got their lights on, we might see it. See anything. Traffic not in
Beechcraft
sight.
05 Delta, don't have JMB Aviation VL3 in sight.
Report them in sight.
Okay, according to the
61 Papa traffic is 2 o'clock per mile.
according to the PFD display, if you look up here,
Report them in sight.
we got about 4 minutes. We're going to be at the Concord VOR, at which point we're going to change course slightly. No, we stay on this course until we intercept the ILS.
Have the Cessna 152 in sight. Going to 125 decimal 05 Airbus 489er.
Once we get to the Concord VOR, we can contact Laconia Airport and get our information for landing. Either give or get. I'm not sure whether it's a controlled airport or not. We'll find out in a second. If it's controlled, they'll tell us where to land. If it's not controlled, we'll tell them where we're going to land. Bring up the map a second. Zoom out. You can see see where we're going. Going to the Concord VOR, there it is, CON right here. We're approaching that. Once we get there, we're going to go until we intercept the ILS, Instrument Landing System Approach, which is this straight line right here at the top, which takes us over to the airport, which is right here.
Boston Center Daughter X-Ray Alpha, Foxtrot Victor Charlie, is passing flight level 345, descending flight level 340.
And that's what's called an
Daughter
ILS
X-Ray
approach.
Alpha, Foxtrot Victor Charlie, Boston Center, continue to Honolulu as planned.
Runway 8.
Daughter Foxtrot Victor Charlie traffic alert. 6 o'clock less than 1 mile flight level 30.
Okay, we're doing pretty good.
Foxtrot Victor Charlie have the Daughter TBM-9 in sight. Beechcraft 05 Delta, you are 2 miles south. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 8 approach via Charlie Oscar November transition. Clear to Charlie Oscar November.
Okay, they just told us to intercept the ILS.
Cessna November 4416 Bravo 7000.
26 miles away.
Cessna November 4416 Bravo Boston Center altimeter 29.40 continue as planned.
Knowledge.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 8 approach via Charlie Oscar November transition. Cleared to Charlie Oscar November Beechcraft 05 Delta.
Beechcraft 05 Delta descend and maintain 4,200 feet.
Okay, we've just been
Descend
instructed
and maintain 4,200 feet.
to
Beechcraft
descend to
05 Delta.
4,200 feet. We're going to set our altitude to 4,200 feet.
2 Juliet is at flight level 235, descending flight level 230. Beechcraft
vertical
November
speed
015, 2 Juliet Boston
down.
Center, continue as planned. Beechcraft 05 Delta contact, Boston approach on 13 for decimal 75. Good day.
We're starting to descend.
Boston Center.
Come
Cessna
back on the
Charlie,
throttle a
X-ray
little.
Victor X-ray 7,700 feet. Cessna Charlie, Golf X-ray Victor X-ray Boston Center altimeter 29.40 continue.
We also
as
got an
planned.
instruction while we were doing that for another handoff.
134.75 Beechcraft 05 Delta. Boston approach Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta is passing 6,100 feet, descending 4,200 feet.
Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta Boston approach altimeter 29.40 continue to Charlie Oscar November as planned.
Still black out there, can't see anything. Can't see the ground. This PFD shows us a map of what we're going over right now, though. It's not a map, it shows us a 3D view of what we would see if we're looking out the window. Alright, I'm going to switch to localizer. There we go. I just switched. I just switched to a localizer, and that's. I'll show you in a second. It's this instrument right here, and it's got us 84 degrees. That's the heading into the runway. This. Oh, got too low. Turn up the speed. We're ready to stall. Shit. That's this instrument right here, this green arrow. And you see there's a green line here. That tells us we have to head in the direction we're having. As we get closer to the radial leading into the airport, this green bar can come down here and When it becomes solid, that means we're heading directly to the airport. That if we turn right to that heading, we'll be going right toward the airport. The autopilot should take care of that automatically. We look at the multifunction display right here. You can see it's heading toward this intersection, at which point the autopilot will make us turn right. Air traffic control should tell us to start coming down at some point too. Once we get on the ILS approach, we can switch it to a full ILS, and it will automatically, the plane will almost automatically land by itself. It'll come down at the correct glide slope and stay on the correct path automatically. Looking good, we're looking good.
Beechcraft 05 Delta, you are 16 miles southwest of Kilo Lima, Charlie, India. Boston approach Diamond November 83, 22 Foxtrot, 4,300 feet. Diamond November 83, 22 Foxtrot, Boston approach altimeter 29 decimal for tree continue as planned. Cessna 57 Echo traffic is 11 o'clock 4 miles at 4,100 feet Diamond CA40. Report them in sight.
Beechcraft 05 Delta.
Diamond 22 Foxtrot traffic is 11 o'clock 3 miles at 1,300 feet Cessna Skyhawk.
Okay, she just told us we're on track to go ahead and land. I see it's not a controlled airport, so we have to tell them where we are. Where we're
Kilo
going to
Lima
land.
Charlie India traffic Beechcraft Bravo Oscar Sierra 05 Delta 14 miles west inbound ILS runway 8.
We're 14 miles. Oh shit. We went past the... I didn't have the autopilot set correctly. I had it set to where, if you look up here now, I just switched it to localizer. It was set on pilot controlling the turns. So now it's turning to intercept the course. Right here. Now we're back on course. Okay. And we're switching over to approach. We intercepted the glide slope. Intercepted the glide slope. It's this green diamond right here. So the plane will be coming down automatically now by itself. Cutting back on the power a little bit. Starting to slow down. We're 1.4 miles from the Wilvey intersection, at which point we'll be 9 miles from landing. We're supposed to be at 3,100 feet at that point, and it looks like we're going to be just about there. We intercepted the glide slope. Pretty much on course. Here's our course right here where the arrow, where the compass is. We're slightly left of the course, but it'll bring us in. And the little green diamond there is right where it's supposed to be, right in the middle. That means we're on the correct glide slope coming down. We check the barometer. Whoop. barometer was off a little bit. I just set that. Slow it down a little more. Put in a notch of flaps. Oh, it's starting to snow. It's snowing up here in Laconia. When we get to the U-run intersection, we're supposed to be at 1,980 feet. And it looks like, if you look here at the altimeter, he's coming down. We should be right about there. Still don't see the runway. Looking good, we're right on course. Got one notch of flaps in. I'm gonna go full flaps now.
Landing gear.
Put the landing gear down. Slow the plane down a little more. Right on course. If you look over here, you can see the wind indicator. Showing us right here, there's a crosswind of about 23 knots, 22 knots, pushing us to the right. That's why the plane is steering a little to the left. So we're going to have to make a crab approach. A crab approach means you keep the nose pointed in a not the heading that you want, but a little to the left. And at the last second before you touch down, you straighten the plane out so you don't snap the landing gear off. Okay, we're down to 1,200 feet. Give a little bit more speed. We're getting a little slow. Looking good. Still don't see the runway.
$500.
500 feet above ground right now. Oh, I can just see some ground. See a little bit of the ground right now. We're getting a little bit, we're getting out of the soup a little bit. Oh, there's the runway right in front of us. Okay, we're doing all right. In a second, I'll shut off autopilot and bring her in. Autopilot off. Looking good. Okay, cutting back on the throttle. Throttle off. Okay, we're down. Okay, reverse thrust, brakes. King Air has reverse thrust, believe it or not. The propellers turn around.
Kilo Lima Charlie India traffic JMB.
There we go.
November 7761 Papa is on final runway 8 to land.
And we're down.
Kilo Echo Echo November traffic Cessna Charlie Golf Romeo Kilo Echo 1 miles north 800 feet inbound to land runway 2.
Okay, I see where we are. Have to exit to the left down here. Welcome to Laconia.
Kilo Lima Charlie India traffic diamond, November 357 Niner, Tango taking off runway 8 departure to the west. Kilo Lima Charlie India traffic JMC aviation, November 330141 miles southwest, 1,000 feet inbound to land runway 8.
And here we are in Laconia. Engines off. And that's it for this video.